Ollie, good morning. Morning. Oh, you going? You're good? You're alright? Oh, it's such a pleasure to be in your company today. Yes, you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me. We could say us. We could say us. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Richard's Rant. As usual, the morning is that time of the day when you wake up, everything is wonderful. Everything is fresh. Nothing has gone wrong. And I always wish you that sentiment at the beginning of every edition of Richard's Rant. Today, I guess by default, I can't be basing the rants on current events and not talk about events that are current. I do base it on other stuff from time to time, but generally, yeah. So, as much as I do not like this topic, it is a topic, and that topic is what it is. So, what is going to be is coming up shortly, and yeah, just fucking with you. So, we're gonna talk about the coronavirus thingy vaccine thing. So, apparently, it's the mark of the beast. So, at the beginning of time in the book of Genesis, no, in the beginning of time, before even Genesis, God created the angels. Remember, God was this being in the universe, wondering how did we reach there from the yeah. So, listen in, tune in. That's why you listen, because this is some kind of entertaining ridiculousness. But that is exactly where my brain thinks that we should start. And as I'm thinking that this has nothing to do with the rant, but I am thinking that I want to try to do one maybe drunkish or intoxicated because I've never done that. And if this is me sober, just thinking it might be something worth doing. And apart from that, I discovered today that there are something called a rum flavor essence. Like how you would have vanilla essence, cola champagne essence. Apparently, it have rum. So I'm going to be getting a bottle of that to see what it's like. But that was a straight up 100% digress. Not going to tie into anything. So coming back to the beginning of time, when it had God, apparently God was the only thing, nothing else, just appear, broops, and that was it. Which is understandable to me because if there's nothing, there has to be something. Otherwise, there can't be nothing. Remember, things only exist because of duality and opposites. So if there isn't anything, then there has to be something to define the nothing. So we could accept that the something was God. So maybe the devil balances the equation. Possibly. So, but not quite, because then it should have an alter God or alter ego, because the devil was an angel. And I'm sorry to just, maybe I should have scripted this one a bit. But there's no but. I'm just sorry. I should have scripted it a bit. The reason why I'm saying that is because in the beginning, God made the angels and he made the angels to serve him. So we are taught in the Bible. And his favorite angel, the bestest angel, the strongest angel was Lucy. Lucy. Not Destra, but Lucifer. And Lucifer. Lord, the movie may come out. Lucifer. Quanisha. So, he created Lucy. Then he went on to create man to love him and serve him, according to the Bible. So the angels didn't really have a choice in the situation. You like here for my entertainment. But we get to have a choice because he's lonely and all of that. Devil get jealous, and of course, he was also the angel of light, and as such, he rebelled against God. And when God won the battle, obviously, because I mean, he's like all powerful and stuff, he banished him into hell. Personally, I believe that this Lucy is a chick, or at least maybe a love interest of God. That's just my personal belief. Because he could have just undo the creation. He didn't have to fight with it. He could have just be like, you go on. You know, like when you're typing up a document, or when I'm doing this rant, when I find it get completely out of foil, I will delete a piece and start it over. And similarly, when the producer finds that it's utter rubbish, well, that has been a traumatic experience for me because it could be very aggressive at times. But anyway, the he didn't undo it. He didn't undo Lucifer, and he gave Lucifer entire dominion. And interestingly, from the angel of light, he's now the angel of darkness. And for some strange reason, we don't equate sexy things with God. We equate it with that darkness. Wonder why. During the sexy things, we do say, oh God, we do call God, praise God. But probably the duality existing, feeling like you're doing something dirty and feeling so good. Maybe. So, since, of course, the devil, who is not God lover, so upset for all of these decades or millennia, he spends all of his time trying to turn God's creation against him. And we have all of these examples throughout the entire Bible, leading up to the book of Revelations, where, God will come back and it will have the rapture that was supposed to happen Easter Sunday and this year. And, the Antichrist and all of that excitement as well. Leading up to the end of the world in Revelations, it is said that children will dishonor their parents, men will take men. I think it says women will take women, not sure. But they always focus on men. We are, we are the shit. Unfortunately, our shoulders are being bent under the weight of that spotlight right now, and men are, in my opinion, in crisis, especially with the suicide rate and the incarceration rate, the violence rate, the unemployment rate, the lower percentile and testing rate, all being male. But that's for another rant altogether. So it is said, and there'll be an increase in natural disasters and famine and pestilence, right? So, although in my opinion that means the world was ending since it began, which is not a weird theory because you were dying since you were born, and all of these signs have always been there, none of them are new. Absolutely none of them are new. So, not particularly sure why it's this exciting now. But the corona vaccine, apparently one very popular theory is a sign of the end of the world and the mark of the beast, as per the book of Revelations, whereby you will not be able to buy food, sell food, travel, and some other stuff, basically live life without getting the mark of the beast. And people are putting in place that you need to get vaccinated to do those things. Again, personally, I believe then the mark of the beast would be money, credit cards, could be Pornhub, Google, or cell phones. But, apparently it's the corona vaccine. So, I am not seeing enough evidence for it to be the corona vaccine. I mean, I get it, but we have had many a pandemic throughout history. We have had several pandemics or viral outbreaks throughout our lifetime. Unless there are people listening that are teenagers and possibly not even 18, maybe under 18, it would be in your lifetime because SARS and not chikungunya, bird flu. I think I was going to say chicken flu. Forgive me. SARS, bird flu. There was mad cow disease. Well, anthrax was man-made, but that was a thing too at one point. So, yes, those are the ones that I could remember off the top of my head. And yeah, these happened. Now, of course, yes, this spread quickly throughout the world, but we already knew that this was going to happen. That's why there's so many movies on it, Contagion, all of that, Bird Box. We already knew something like this would happen. All of the scientific data and that big brain that, you know, humans have, we saw it coming. So, for all of those people that are so concerned as to why it is they make the vaccine so quick and how it is it reach out so fast and they put in chips inside of your body and it's the end of the world and all of those situations, it don't really making complete sense because the reason why they were able to make it so fast is because we've been making vaccines and shit. I mean, the first time you learn to make bread, that's a complicated one. That's why I picked that one. And I don't really have a bread mix. I have a roti mix, a pylori mix, a cake mix, a cheesecake mix, but I've never seen a bread mix. That's how difficult it is. They even have a pone mix, but it does not have a bread mix. It have a muffin mix, a pancake mix, but not a bread mix, not a sweet bread mix. That has not been invented yet. So if you hearing this and you feel you could pick up which part Betty Crocker retire, more power to you. People go buy your bread mix. Kiss might buy it from you too to pay you out of business. That $12 a sandwich loaf situation, foolishness. You had to work for more than a half hour to buy a sandwich loaf. But again, another rant, another time. Oh, this one I really lost myself. The sandwich loaves upset me. It really upset me. Because back in my day, you could have gotten us a bread for like $3.50, and it's steadily raised to where it is now. It's ridiculousness. So, I'm struggling not to edit this out because I'm legitimately trying to do the rants without too much scripting, and yeah, I think I lose myself with the bread. All right, so I did legit pause the recording, look up to the heavens to remember where I was because I didn't want to play it back to keep it authentic. So, when you learn to make your bread, when you learn to make your bread and you repeat the process over and over and over and over, of course, you're going to be able to do it quicker, better, and more efficient. So obviously, we're getting better at making the damn vaccines. We've made so many of them. You know how many diseases you doesn't really hear about again? Rubella and thing was way back in Ermin and Gertrude days. When was the last time somebody tell you, oh, I can't come to the line because I have rubella? That might faster become somebody's name. I paused there because I actually have a friend named Candida. I don't think she's aware of these rants, but if she is, please don't be offended. But although her name is in Hindi and it has a beautiful meaning in Hindi, in English it means yeast infection. So, you could maybe possibly really have somebody named Rubella at one point. But when was the last time you hear about somebody getting, rubella? You can still hear a little chicken pox, maybe a little shingles every now and then, but still, the shingles and stuff does be more around, Theophilus age group. If you have like a Uncle Wilbert Or he might get shingles, but it's not really you. So it's because we have been perfecting these things. Now, the next thing is that they're using unborn babies. I mean, I understand, believe it or not, like Ripley's, I do understand how they got there. But I don't understand how it is they didn't realize that they did not reach their destination. What GPS are they using exactly? Because that is not how ways and things does work. You obviously take a wrong turn. Your brain's supposed to be saying recalculating, or where the RCU is, unless it carried them somewhere it had no data. Because I can't understand. Yes, there is a gene therapy vaccine production, and it has a myriad of benefits, including that it's easy to be produced, and it will actually teach your genes to make the antibodies needed to fight off whatever virus. And this, of course, is an extension as to how far we have reached. My personal belief, I think I said that a lot, so maybe I'll name this rant my personal belief. But my personal belief is that human beings are biological machines, perhaps made by a mechanical machine for its amusement, like the Transformers. But everything that we do is actually written in code into our genetic makeup, ideally called genetic code. And if it is you edit that code, you could literally change something drastic. You could become tall, you could become short, you could become well endowed, or a woman. So, I'm definitely gonna do one drunk or tipsy. So, why not edit it to be able to fight off diseases? Yeah. Plus, many years ago, they already made something called CRISPR, whereby you could actually start to do some gene modifications. Now you could order one online, sorry. Oh, offline. You can order one online. You can order one offline. Online. Okay, so we'll go with online for this time. They are not using unborn embryos to harness their genes to put into a vaccine. They are, however, using technology to program the vaccine to interact or to program an entity, which I don't profess to understand. But for simplicity, there are things occurring naturally in nature that also alters your genes. Radiation, for example, will cause your genes to unravel, you go dead. That is the big thing with nuclear situations and all of that. Um, Radiation, as well as simple as from the microwave or the photocopying machine, could negatively impact a fetus. So could drugs and alcohol negatively impact the fetus because those genes and stuff are now forming and it would not be able to resist the harmful parts of those elements. So there are things occurring naturally in nature. There are diseases as well that can alter your genes as an adult. There are some diseases that can damage your characteristics, not necessarily alter your genes, like make you blind, besides kill you, like make you blind and all of that. Bottom line is, these things already naturally exist, and we already do a lot of unnatural things. We have altered wolves to become dogs. Then we altered dogs to get teacup dogs and all of the different breeds. We created koi, we created goldfish, we created all them fish that is buying the pet store that just kill each other for no reason. We created vegetables. Sorry, don't get excited. We altered vegetables. Carrot was not orange and quote unquote sweet. It was big, white, and bland, kind of like a weird cucumber. Oh, I'm sorry. My brain just reminded me it wasn't white, it was purple, actually. And something else, I believe the original color for cabbage was also purple. And bananas, also altered by man, the original fruit was smaller than CKA fig. And of course, we have a whole bunch of GMO that we eat now, wheat, corn. So we've been doing this thing. If you didn't know, now you know. Even the things that are not being genetically altered, completely still being influenced by man. It's not like if anybody, yes, it has so-called free-range chicken, but it's not like if it's not like if you're just going to hunt an expedition. They're being bred and all of that, puppy mills. We have been doing that. We breeding ourselves to fertilization clinics. So why run from it with a vaccine? Was the excitement, you know? You have gene therapy in your cornflakes in the morning or your porridge. And if you just put cricks in your porridge, it in the cricks and the porridge. So just settle yourself. Come on, chunk along, just settle yourself. It's not coming from baby embryos. The real One of the reasons to why they were able to make this vaccine so quickly is because they didn't make it from scratch. It was like Betty Crocker, forget to make the bread mix, but she went and she made the gene mix. So they already have the foundation, like for what all vaccines start off with, and then you just tweak it, you add a little flavor. Like when it is you're making wings, you could make like fry wings just so, or you can make spicy wings, or you could make buffalo wings, or you could make honey barbecue wings, and I think a feeling for some wings. You have the basis to go with, right? You have regular fries, curly fries, seasoned fries, all of it coming from potato. You have the foundation to go with. So that's all they did. And I would admit 100% we are the guinea pigs in a way because they are supposed to let the vaccine consume for about 2 years. And in that 2 years, they will see if you will grow wings or gills or die. However, since the whole of Italy go into heaven in a cannoli, they would have released the vaccine early. Once they realized it didn't kill anybody, they put it out. Now, the good news is that nobody's forcing you to take a damn thing. As educated as I am on this subject, and I don't think I'm the most educated by any means at all, I'm not gonna take it. I'm gonna wait the 2 years. I have no comorbidity features. I'm not in the age group. And my dad took it, so I will be monitoring him over the next 2 years. I mean, if he grow wings, I will go and take it immediately. But if he grow gills or something weird, well, I will say, ah boy, crisis averted. So, how is life with your third nipple? Whatever it is. So it is not that I am pro-vaccine or an advocate to run out there and get vaccinated. At the end of the day, the information that is given to us can be skewed, it can be altered towards control because knowledge is power. And humans have an insatiable appetite for power. Nothing is ever enough. So it's not impossible, but when deciding to do something, you should try to base or anchor that decision, especially when it's something so important, in as much reality as possible. Go with your instincts, go with your feelings, but let your feelings and your instincts flow forward from a place of logic and not sentimentality. Because just so this thing is the mark of the beast. And it have fibers. Why would Bill Gates be putting fibers inside of you to control you to do what? What is the end result here? When it is you could just pour a little thing in the water and kill everybody. If you want to kill people, because that's what they're saying, they want to kill you, they want to kill this particular ethnic group or that particular demographic, they'd have easier ways to do so. They have far easier ways to do so. You just release a little thing in the air, and that's it. Nice, cost effective, and you don't have to go through all this talk. Why does he want to ship a vaccine around the world in this sub-zero temperature and it had to go through customs and excise and Jesus and exorcists and you know, you had to put a little data pay on top of it. Why would you go through all of that just to kill people? It have easier ways. And you could kill people without even doing any of that. You could just put your own propaganda on the internet, keep pushing it enough, and people will kill themselves. Well, each other, I mean, to be fair. So, that one isn't based on reality. The next thing, or the next issue, is coronavirus on the whole. I am a complete advocate for lockdowns in the beginning, in the initial dealing with the disease. But now that we know that the disease was here, it's just a mutation, and most importantly, it's not going anywhere, I think it is high time for us to start to develop a plan for life after the disease. Every single time this thing spikes, it's not for us to run inside. That is stupid, especially in an island like Trinidad where we have the borders closed. So anything that has to happen here. I think it's high time that all Trinidadians that want to come home be allowed to come home, not necessarily all at once, but be allowed to come home in a systematic manner, be quarantined, and then released into the general public, released back into the wild, like the animals that we are. And let us make our own decisions. You have been running the parallel healthcare system for a while, you have been TTVing for a while. Trinidad has dozens of hospitals and health centers. We have 4 or 6 general hospitals. Let's count them together. You have Port of Spain General, Arima General, Sandy Grande is not a general. You have San Fernando General and Scarborough General. Four general hospitals for 1.1 million people. Community clinics, community outreach, caravans, trailers, and the extension, you have other things like family planning, the cancer society, the mental health situations, all of these things. So you have tens, dozens of health centers and all of that. So let life go on and keep maybe 1, maybe 2 general hospitals corona free. And that's it. Everybody has the information. Let everybody be adults. Let everybody decide for themselves. You can pass laws like all employers must provide a work at home option. I think that would be good actually. That would reduce traffic on the road. It would reduce pollution. It would increase efficiency and productivity because less time will be wasted getting to and from work and preparing for work. Schools could remain closed until we really get a handle on everything. Protect the children, the innocent. But adults, leave them be, let them go on a frolic of their own. You could pass laws as well. The same way how we have laws governing alcohol, drugs, we still have laws governing sex as well. None of them were actually removed from the books. So the same way that we have all of these laws to quote unquote protect society, make some corona laws. If you give corona to a child, I don't know, maybe we'll no treatment for you, maybe we're gonna send you down the islands. I don't have all the answers. But when HIV AIDS came to Cuba, Castro quarantined everybody that had it. When they died, the disease died with them. Cuba had the lowest and still has the lowest cases of HIV and AIDS in this part of the hemisphere, and they rival that of the world. It's the same situation. There must be a plan that we could put in place to get life back to normal. and stop playing this turtle situation. And we can't afford to keep doing this. And we grown. Why it is you telling me I can't go to the beach? Why it is you telling me I can't eat in a restaurant? Why you telling me I can't drink? Because I could die. Yes, yes, could always die. I could die right now. We could have a massive earthquake. Um, could get bounced down. God could smite you. You could always die. You can't take away people's choices in a democracy. So I'm gonna try because I don't like the corona topic. It upsets my spirit. So I'm gonna try not to do another one, quite frankly. But I felt it needed to be done. When I heard that the virus was the mark of the beast, I had to put my voice to it. So this is me signing out. I thank you sincerely for choosing to listen and for the opportunity to add something, some comedy, some humor, some thought, some entertainment, some amusement to your day. Thank you for listening, and remember to subscribe to the Vibe and comment towards our betterment. Have a good rest of your day. Vibes.